What do red squirrels, ospreys, Italian food, and a bagpiper have in common? They all became part of our unforgettable third day in Aviemore. Join us as we hear the songs of Willow Warblers, peek through a scope at rare grapes, spot an osprey cuddling its chicks, and end the day with the best Italian buffet we've ever had. This is a day full of nature, surprises, and peaceful wonder that you wouldn't want to miss. Hello everyone, welcome to Cat Couple Chronicles. Day 3 in Aviemore was all about birds and bliss. Birdwatching is something incredibly close to our hearts, and on this trip we wanted to experience that as well. So we reached out to Speyside Wildlife, a name well known among birders in the Highlands. Their list of guided tours was tempting, each itinerary promising a different slice of Cairngorms National Park. But we went for their Cairngorms National Park tour. This one is the most popular option, and very rightly so. It offers a rich and varied glimpse into the park's incredible landscapes, ranging from ancient Caledonian pine forests to high moorlands, and focuses on Scotland's iconic bird species. It felt like the perfect way to understand and experience the Cairngorms way of life. A full day guided tour costs £250, which might sound steep if you're traveling as a couple, but becomes much more affordable if you're in a group of 6. For the kind of tailored experience we had, I would say it was really worth it. 2 days before the tour, we received a call from our guide, Mr. Harris Brooker. He wanted to understand our interests, what species we were hoping to see, and what kind of experience we were looking for. Now, if you ask me what I'm interested in, well, don't be surprised. Insects? Yes. Mammals? Absolutely. Birds, plants, fungi, lichen, trees, mysterious mossy rocks. If it lives, grows, or simply sits in nature, I want to see it. But in the interest of keeping things focused and not being overly enthusiastic, I told him we were especially keen on birds and mammals, particularly those endemic to Scotland. It felt like the right balance between passion and not overwhelming the poor man before we'd even met. At exactly 9 a.m., Harris picked us up from the lodge and off we went, full of excitement and with camera and binoculars in hand. Our first destination was the Findhorn Valley. Tucked away in the Scottish Highlands, it's known for its dramatic landscapes and the promise of creatures like red squirrels, red deer, and with a little luck, some unforgettable feathered friends. But before we reached the valley itself, Harris made a quick halt at a nearby woodland patch. And there we saw a trio of red squirrels, already deep into their breakfast routine, perched on branches, twitching their tails and nibbling away, completely unbothered by your presence.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful.
After we reached the Findhorn Valley, right in front of us, a little wagtail has claimed the spotlight. And just beyond it flows the Findhorn River. Doesn't this landscape feel straight out of a painting? Just look at the view. Rolling hills, large trees, and that clear, crisp Highland air.
Yes, of course.
In the distance, near that lone house tucked against the hillside, we spotted a herd of red deer. Too far for the camera, but perfect through the binoculars. Out of nowhere, a tiny mayfly landed on me. I recognized it instantly thanks to its delicate wings and that long signature tail. It was so small and so fragile. It instantly reminded me of the giant mayflies of the Tisa River. Remember those? I featured them in one of my earlier videos, and they look like something straight out of a fantasy novel. If you're curious to see the dramatic difference, I'll link that video in the comments section. We were all set to head deeper into the valley, but the road ahead was closed for maintenance. Just like that, our path was blocked. So with no choice left, we had to turn back and retrace our steps. It's always a little disheartening when a day begins with a setback, a plan foiled before it even starts. Let's just say this wasn't the start we were hoping for, but the day wasn't over yet. A gentle drizzle welcomed us as we made our way towards our next stop, Lochindorb.
On second thought, I think we'll maybe just move on.
But before we reached, we paused for a moment at this quiet spot. Just look around. Doesn't the landscape feel completely different here? Rolling fields stretch out before us. That vibrant hue blanketing the ground is heather, a classic Highland scene and utterly breathtaking. And there's Harris, our ever enthusiastic guide. His knowledge is incredible. Point to a tree, a bird, even the tiniest insect, and he'll tell you its name, habits, and probably its family history too. Look over there on the fence. That little bundle of feathers hopping around is a willow warbler, small and constantly on the move.
You'll notice that they're pale colours.
We are almost at Lochindorb now, and just look at how the landscape shifts around us. The terrain opens up into wild, windswept moorland, and those low shrubs carpeting the ground, that's all heather. It's not just beautiful, it's the prime territory for one of Scotland's iconic birds, the red grouse. We had our hopes up, eyes scanning the purple dotted shrub, and sure enough, we saw something move. A female red grouse. And she wasn't alone. Tucked close beside her was a tiny fluffy chick. A truly special sight.
Chicks.
I apologize for the quality, but some moments are just too precious not to share, even if they are a bit grainy. Out on the still waters of the lake, Harry spotted a pair of black-throated divers, also known as black-throated loons or Arctic loons. They were far too distant for any decent video, but unmistakable through the scope Harris had brought along. We did manage a faint photograph, just enough to capture the moment, if not the detail.
Definitely interested. Yeah. Just
That's a northern lapwing with its bold crest and shimmering green wings, strutting around fearlessly. Our next journey took us to Dalna Haitnak, near the charming village of Carrbridge. We were now heading into the heart of a pine forest. The earlier pine stretch that we passed at Lochindorb was part of a managed pine plantation. This, however, felt entirely different. This was wild, untamed, a true Caledonian forest. And with that came the hope of spotting one of its most elusive residents, the crossbill. And then there's the capercaillie, a bird I've long dreamed of seeing, massive, majestic, and notoriously shy. It's become something of a legend in these parts. But capercaillies don't take kindly to human presence. In fact, they are so easily disturbed that Speyside Wildlife has a firm policy: no intentional tracking, no pushing boundaries. And rightly so. Protecting the fragile habitat comes first, even if it means letting go of a sighting. Wow, this is so different from the other pines. Harris pointed out that these are Scots pine trees.
Round-leaved sundew.
Oh wow, these are so beautiful.
So there's
These
no
are also so
flowers on that.
beautiful. I mean, these pink ones.
Sphagnum mosses.
Those are moss, right? The forest floor was dotted with curious mounds, ant hills, scattered everywhere we looked. This stretch of the forest quickly became our favorite spot of the day. Though the crossbill remained elusive, we could hear its call. Sometimes the wild is more about what you hear than what you see. But beyond the history and the wildlife, it's the landscape that stole our hearts. This spot, with its perfect blend of forest, river, and stone, has quickly become our favorite so far. There's something magical about wandering these ancient woods, isn't it? The oyster-catcher chicks were busy getting their first lessons in food gathering, guided by a watchful parent.
Just swing up.
And that is the Carrbridge Packhorse Bridge. Built way back in 1717, it's the oldest stone bridge in the entire region.
Have to move. Yes, you can move. You can.
Next up on our journey was Aviemore, a spot known for its variety of water birds. We arrived hoping to catch glimpses of some feathered locals, and the setting didn't disappoint. But as with many wild places near civilization, there were a couple of challenges. First, the steady hum of the traffic from the nearby road wasn't nice. And second, perhaps more frustrating, the birds kept their distance, far across the water. With a 200 to 500 mm zoom lens, capturing photos or video was practically impossible. Grape? Golden eye?
Yes.
Thankfully, Harris came prepared with his spotting scope, and through that lens, we spotted grey-lag geese, mallards, moorhen, little grape, and in the distance, not one but two Slavonian Grebes, which are rare and so beautiful. Our final destination for the day was Loch Insh, where the Osprey awaited us. We stepped out near a quiet little cemetery. Harris carefully set up his scope, and through the lens, we saw the Osprey. Nestled in a sturdy nest high above, the Osprey was resting peacefully with two fluffy chicks tucked snugly beneath each wing. It was impossible not to smile. As the day drew to a close, our amazing guided tour came to an end with Harris dropping us back at our lodge. We were tired, exhilarated, and filled with unforgettable memories. Later, we wandered into the town centre, soaking up the lively atmosphere and hunting for the perfect souvenirs and gifts. And then, to our delight, we stumbled upon a bagpiper, a moment that felt unmistakably Scottish. One of those small wishes magically checked off our list. With spirits high, we made our way to La Taverna, a cozy family-run Italian restaurant just steps away from our lodge. They were hosting an Italian buffet that night, and honestly, I can say without hesitation, it was the best Italian food I've ever tasted. A perfect ending to a day full of wildlife and wonder. No trip to Scotland would feel complete without two timeless icons: a haunting bagpipe melody and the legendary Loch Lomond whiskey. Loch Lomond is the favorite whiskey of Captain Haddock and even Snowy, Tintin's faithful dog. So picking up a bottle was always high on our must-do list. And on that happy note, our unforgettable adventure in Aviemore draws to a close. Thanks so much for joining us on this journey. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.